Hi friends, welcome back to DIPCLINIC. My name's Mike and I'm a cognitive behavioural therapist and first year trainee health psychologist working in the UK. In today's session we're going to discuss one of my favourite topics, and that's working and training in health psychology. Let's get started. So one of the main questions that I get asked as a trainee is, what do health psychologists actually do? And there's no real one way to answer this question. Health psychologists typically work in a range of sectors. That includes teaching, psychological intervention, consultancy, and training. And within those areas, they learn several skills that allows them to both work with clients, present research, and generally support policy. As my role as a psychologist, I predominantly work one-to-one with individuals who are experiencing chronic illness or health anxiety. This means that I'm usually using a CBT model to support their thoughts, emotions, behaviours, and working with some of the behaviours that they may find difficult at that time. This could be looking into how to support people who are experiencing chronic pain or type 1 diabetes. And our role is ultimately to support these individuals to have a better quality of life and enhance healthy behaviours that they're doing. Health psychology is very unique. In comparison to some of the other approaches such as clinical or counselling psychology, health psychology is relatively new. This is really exciting because what this means is that a lot of research is emerging in the field, and it really allows an opportunity for trainees such as myself to make a mark. So let's take a look at how you would become a health psychologist. The first step in becoming a health psychologist is usually getting a university undergraduate degree. Although there's some flexibility, most students will have a High 2-1 or a first class degree to get onto a university psychology course. Once you've completed your undergraduate studies, you'll then typically have to complete your Stage 1 Master's Training in Health Psychology. This is where you gain all of the key skills in intervention design, research, and client work as well. To get onto the Doctorate, you'll typically need to provide a personal statement, a full application, and attend for an interview as well. On completion of this Doctorate, you're able to register for the HCPC. This is the Healthcare Professions Council and the registered body that accounts for working professionals in psychology in the UK. So let's take a look at what completing a doctorate in health psychology looks like. Throughout the doctorate course, you have to complete 5 competencies. This is your professional competence, teaching, consultancy, psychological intervention, and research. So let's take a little look at what each of these mean. In your professional competence module, you have to keep a logbook and reflections of what you've completed over the 2 years of your studying. What this does is it allows to show your progression, where you'll touch on things like communicating with other colleagues and your continued professional development as well. This is one of the only modules that is completed over the entire span of your training, and this allows you to demonstrate that you've met the criteria to be able to become an autonomous and professional psychologist. The next competence is teaching. Within teaching, we have to display that we are able to communicate information to our peers and also professionals. Within my experience, this includes providing talks on sleep management and sleep hygiene, to managing type 1 and type 2 diabetes. The next competence is consultancy, and within consultancy we have to provide support to either an individual or an organisation. A consultancy project usually consists of you approaching an organisation or an organisation approaching you, and usually they're seeking support on how they can improve their organisation, improve their policies, or help their employees with their well-being. This isn't an exhaustive list of consultancy topics, and many colleagues that I have worked with have supported within educational institutions or developed service reports for the National Health Service and private organisations. That brings us on to psychological intervention. This was one of the easier competencies for me because I already had training in cognitive behavioural therapy prior to coming onto the doctorate. Within the psychological intervention, this looks at your ability to support the psychological and physical well-being of a client. This could range from supporting an individual to stop smoking to managing the emotional impact of a chronic condition. Personally, I think this is one of the most rewarding aspects of the job, and psychological intervention within individuals and groups alike really allows you to build your skills as a practitioner. The final component of my training is research, and this means developing a qualitative, a quantitative, and a systematic review project. This is a really important part of the doctorate because it allows you to hone in on your research skills and also allows for the opportunity to publish your work. And although many people are quite scared of the research competence, it's not as scary as it may seem at first. To complete your doctorate training, you'll usually have to be on a placement. Within my case, that means working within private practice and also within occupational health. The flexibility of the modules means that I can complete opportunities as they come to me. And so if somebody approaches me and wants me to do some teaching in their organisation, this allows me to use this work, as long as we have their permission, for my doctorate competencies. Health psychology is a really important area, and a lot of people are always wondering, why do I never see health psychology jobs? And that's mainly because health psychology jobs within themselves typically haven't existed at a wide level. What we are seeing at the moment, though, is that more and more organisations are recruiting for health psychologists, including in the National Health Service. Nevertheless, a significant benefit of the health psychology doctorate is that you develop several skills that apply to different roles, and this means that you can work within any of those areas that you've studied in. Overall, I'm looking forward to the future of health psychology, and it's really exciting to be a part of that. As part of this series, we're going to be developing more videos and content for health psychology trainees, and I hope that I can get more of you interested in the field. If you have any comments about training or working in a health psychology field, drop them below, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.